Welcome back to Emerge Live, and today we have a hips and core focus. I'm going to be behind the camera and kind of leading the way. This is Matt, and this is my beautiful wife, Angie, and she's going to be kind of showing you the ropes. I'm going to try to direct you through as best we can, just giving her pointers. Good thing we have a learned trainer here to do all this stuff, so she'll be able to undoubtedly do it perfectly as we go through this. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a warm-up. Angie's going to start, and she can put her band to the side with a plank on the floor. And this is going to be a forearm plank. Remember, when you're doing a plank, you want to be perfectly straight. When I say straight, it's just a natural curve at the back. Not trying to flatten out. You're just kind of trying to keep your natural curves. She's bracing, and a brace is kind of tightening your midsection, almost like you're about to take a punch. I tell people to push out a little bit versus sucking in. And that's activating the muscles of the core, which there are 27 of. What's up, Chris? All right, head neutral too. You don't want to look up. All right, she's going to pop up out of the plank. She's going to actually just roll over on the floor. We're going to go into a hip thrust off the floor. So you're going to bend the knees. You're going to push through a flat foot. Remember to push through a flat foot right in the middle of your shoe. As she's lifting, she's cueing her glutes to do the lift. So squeeze glutes, the hips go up. She's using those same muscles, the glutes, to bring her back down to the floor. Those are her brakes. So it's not just about moving, it's about doing it well and using the same muscles that move you up to slowly move you back down. So she's going to continue to hip thrust. Let's do 3 more. All right, so we're going to move into the next one, and this is one of those sneaky ones. It doesn't look like much when you see somebody do it, but it's tough. Angie will attest to this in a moment. She's going to do a single leg hip thrust. Now, single leg hip thrust, exponentially harder than 2. This is take away 1 and it's 10 times harder. The idea here is not just to be moving through the range, but to keep that knee in line with the foot. So this is a stability exercise for the hip as well. On this one, definitely drive through the heel, switch legs. There's going to be a tendency, trust me, at some point during the exercise to go to the toe because the quad's trying to join the team. You want this to be primarily posterior chain. Very good. All right. What's up, Vicky? Welcome back. Flip over. Back to a plank. This time we're going to do a plank with reach. So what you're doing with a plank with reach is finding that perfect neutral plank. You got to get there first. And then you're reaching one at a time. All she's doing is taking away 1 point of stability. So in plank variations, you can add all kinds of bells and whistles, but they do not matter if you're losing your stability in the plank. You're training the plank. You're training the neutral. What's up, Sherry? Let's do 1 more each side. You'll be done with that one. All right, let's do a Spider-Man crawl in place. So you're just going to stay low. You're going to kick the leg up to the side in a plank position. Yep. And the idea is to open up the hips a little bit. You're obviously still in a plank, so that's the main thing. The plank is the main thing you want to think about. But as she's kicking the leg out to the side, she's working on a little bit of hip warm-up, hip mobility. Let's get a couple of more each side. That's excellent. All right, let's pop up on your feet. This is all part of a little warm-up before we get into the hips and core. So Angie's now going to find herself in a squat position as deep as she can go without pain. And this is another thing. Your range is going to be dependent upon what's right for you, your anatomy, your ability to get there. Now I'm going to have you come all the way down, hold that position, put the elbows in the inside of the knees, push out, so a little stretch, just a little stretch of the inner thigh, chest up, and I want her to take deep breaths. So you're going to take about 3 seconds to breathe in through the nose, hold it for 3, and through pursed lips, breathe out for 3 seconds. Do that 4 times. You're working on breathing in a compromised position, and this is a tough position to breathe in, especially when you're keeping the upper back, so the chest is up, diaphragmatically breathing, letting the belly move forward and back, not chest breathing. Opening up the hips, working on your breathing at the same time. That is excellent. How's everybody doing at home? Sherry, how you doing? All right. So we're going to get into the workout here. And something I want to remind everybody at home, this is a hips and core focused exercise, like exercise class. Everything you do in exercise outside of sitting on a machine is working your core. Your core is working to stabilize your body as your extremities are producing force, as your extremities are moving objects through space. So some of these exercises are leg exercises, but the intent is working your core. So you're going to see some of those peppered in. So we're not just doing, crunches all day long. We're going to do core, work the core in the way it was intended, and that's to stabilize your trunk and spine while you're moving with your big movers. So the very first thing we're going to do is kind of highlight that idea, and it's an offset squat. So Angie's going to grab one dumbbell, and grab anything you can that would be used for resistance, that you can use for resistance at home. And she's going to have it, and you can either have it on the outside of your leg or in the middle, just depending upon what you like. I like it on the outside, so it puts you a little bit more off balance. And the idea now is just to squat and try to navigate as straight a line as possible. So it's as if you don't have weight on just one side of your body. So the core has to work hard, just positioning yourself in a straight line. And again, this is the true function of the core. It's just stabilized while the legs and the shoulders are producing force. Let's switch it up. 10 apiece, yes. I would probably let you go, unlimited amount. Very nice. How many workouts have you had today, Angie?
This is number 2.
What's up, Stacy? What's up, Tina? Rob? All right, so we're working the core here. We already did a little warm-up. All right, every exercise outside of machine training is core exercise. So you're going to see a lot of that done. All right, next thing we're going to do, it's another one of those exercises that are an example of core, but working the big muscles. This is a walking deadlift in place. So you're not really walking, you're striding back. It's a deadlift versus a lunge because the back leg is staying straight and you're on purpose bending forward with your upper body. Now, what you're looking at here is a single leg deadlift. The back leg's basically a kickstand. It's not used to motor you up. The hips and the quad of the front leg are bringing you back into a standing position. So if you just want to imagine it as a single leg hip thrust, you're going vertical. Obviously, you're going up, but you want to think about the hips going forward horizontally. That's your cue. Once you get 10, you're going to go to the other side. All right, mix it up.
Challenging without weight.
Yes, exactly right. And the idea here isn't just to smash yourself with heavy weight. It's about pristine movement. It's about moving well through the intended muscle and bracing and stabilizing.
Good morning, Stefan.
The entire thing. What up, Stefan? What do you think?
Robo-man.
Like my new digs? What up, Sefton Hale? You know these. All right. Now, classic hip exercise, the RDL. It's a Romanian deadlift. So Romanian deadlift, also called a stiff-legged deadlift. It's stiff in that you're locking out, you're bending the knees, but you're keeping that static bend while you pull through. So it's stiff in a slightly bent knee position. Putting that slight bend in the knee allows the glute to be a helper. If you lock out the knees, it's going to be hamstring centric for sure, and it's probably not going to feel very good in the knees. So slight bend. When you're coming down, you're basically in a little plank, so make sure you're bracing. There's the plank right there. Pulling with your hips on the way up. Sefton says you're looking good. And just going to go for a record amount of workouts today. All right, we're going back.
Paying back my dues for the ones I missed.
Shaking it off for just a second. Want to remind you to go to the Emerge Facebook page for the schedule. The schedule for the rest of the week is up. We're going to have a new schedule up for you. We're going to be doing this for the entire time. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you want to see something else. If you haven't visited us today for the mindfulness class, it was awesome. I would definitely check that out. In the future, we're going to have at least a couple more of those. So let's do it.
Back to the top.
Back to it. We're back to the walking deads in place. All right, y'all. So again, basically, think about this as a single leg hip thrust. The back leg stays straight, unlike a lunge. Unlike a lunge, you're bending forward at the hip. And you're thrusting with the hip on the way up. So we're trying to get a lot of posterior chain here, not just quads. Quads are so easy to work. We're trying to get glutes, hamstrings, core stabilizers. All right, pull through.
10.
Nice. Working backwards. It's a
My
different
face.
psychological
My
approach.
face.
You got it.
Angie, so many lunges today. I know.
Very nice. Oh, man. I wish I could lunge.
We'll explain later.
All right. All right. RDL. Get it, Ann. Beautiful. So on the way down, it's always a controlled movement. Not always, but 95% of the time, a controlled movement on the way down. And what you're doing is using the same muscles, in this case the hamstrings and the glutes, to slow you down, to break you on the way down, which is just as important, being able to slow down. You don't want to be a drag racer with no brakes. That's going to end up bad. Very nice.
11. I'm at 12. Let's go 12.
Oh, nice job. Overachiever. All right, we're going to do this again. One more time, 3 times through. How you hanging, Ange?
Good. Forearms.
Forearms?
Forearms never like holding things.
This is true. That's the limiter. It's always going to be the lowest common denominator. And those aren't light, so forearms. All right, I'm going to let you decide. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is it.
Okay, here we go.
We got some new stuff next. Good. Perfect. Pull through the hip. Keep the brace on. Back leg's a kickstand. It's not helping out. Front leg, glute, and hamstring primarily. You're getting a ton of core work here, stabilizing your trunk while the lower body is producing this force. When you're doing this and the intent is core work, it's all about pristine movement, not how ballistic you can move or how fast you can move. That's very good. What up, Brad? Good morning. Long time no see. Very nice, Angie. These are not easy. Caitlin says more lunges. I agree. All right. How you doing?
Forearms.
Okay. Let's get it done. Get it done.
10.
You're going to get a break. The forearms will get a break officially. I forgot to write on the board. This is hips, core, and forearms
If you have
day. Whatever you're feeling, that's what we're working. Nice flat back. Keeping the brace on. Push out. Push out a little bit like you're about to take a punch, lightly. Don't want to affect your breathing. She's clearly breathing. Angie knocking it out. All right, shake it off. Shake it off for a second. Once again, I want you to invite you to our Emerge Facebook page for the schedule, the live schedule. Just because we're not in the same room doesn't mean we can't work out together. I know for me at least, and Angie, the more this has gone on, the more I realize how much I like people and how much I want to be around them. And just doing this together is a way to do that. So we enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Here in a second, we're going to go into a new 2. You're going to need new 2 exercises. You're going to need a stool, a bench, maybe a chair, 12 to 18 inches off the ground, something like that. If it was a little higher, that's fine. An exercise ball would do, a medicine ball would do, literally a chair would do, couch. So Angie's going to lie on her back. She's going to put both feet up on the stool. She's going to go straight leg, almost straight leg this time, so scoot yourself back. Don't let the knees bend yet. All right. Now, her heels are going to be the contact point. And the idea here is she's going to drive the heels down against the stool to lift her hips off the ground. All right. So, again, when you have straight legs or slightly bent knees and you're extending your hip, the hamstrings become the main mover, right? So drive those heels down. The hamstring's trying to flex at the knee, but the stool's not letting it. So you're getting some isometric, just holding work of the hamstrings. The hamstring's also moving the hip up and down. Vicky's funny. Very nice.
Vicky's saying.
Ange, love it. You look like you make me feel. That is excellent. What's up, Alicia? Good morning. All right. Now she's going to move in kind of where she was just before. It's going to bring her legs in so that they're flexed at about a right angle. This time, your feet are on the stool, but try not to push down as hard. We're trying to de-emphasize the hamstring and put the emphasis on the glute. And with a flex knee, it's going to do that. So think about lifting your hip via a squeeze of the glute. Very good. Up and down. So the glutes are motors on the way up. They're brakes on the way down. So you're not really releasing entirely on the way down. You're using them as brakes. And deceleration, once again, just as important as acceleration. Just ask anybody who's ever had an ACL injury or other injuries, which will be discussed later. That's your second workout. That's right, second of many today, probably Sefton Hill. All right, take a little break. We're going to give you only about 15 seconds. These aren't killer, but you'll feel it. They're burners, right?
I got it.
Less than cardio.
Yep.
Brendan O'Neill, Cannonballs in the house. AKA Hips. That's his actual name on my phone. I don't know why. All right, go ahead. Drive the heels down. Now, again, with the straight leg or the slightly bent knee, you're driving the heels down, trying to emphasize the hamstring. It's trying to pull against the stool at the knee. Again, the hamstring, a little bit of glute too. Obviously, you can feel that. Those are lifting the hips off the ground.
It's hammies.
It's hammies with those legs like that, for sure. There's no doubting it. And if you feel the glutes, they're partners, they're neighbors, they're going to help each other, but it's primarily hammies. All right, let's go with the flexed knee version. This one's going to be a more glute-specific version. All right, so try not to push down as hard against the stool and squeeze the glutes to lift your hips. That's your motor. You're using the glutes and the hammies on the way down to slow you down. Angie's knocking it out. It's trainer count. It's all relative. All right. Relax. We're going to give you another moment. So hips and core day. Once again, every exercise out of machine exercise is core. You're using your core to stabilize your trunk while your big muscles are doing work. So we're going to throw in some of that kind of stuff too. It's not just sit-ups. For the hips and the core in general, if I were to pick one area, one spot to work for the rest of my life, as far as health and function go, it would be the hips and core. They keep you in place, they keep you moving, they keep your back healthy. It's a good combination to focus on.
And aesthetically.
What's up, Jesse? And aesthetically, I ain't lying. Yeah, they do good things for you.
Booty workouts.
All right, so the last one here, let's go with the straighter leg version. Drive the heel down. Very good, Angie. Matt Pirtle on camera. Beautiful wife, Angie, as the person doing the hard stuff. She's going somewhere else. She's going on autopilot. She's thinking of some mindfulness. All right, let's flex the knees. Last one, you can put this to bed. These are going to be 20 to 30 minute workouts because they're so focused. We're not trying to trash them. These two areas, these two muscle groups, you need them for the rest of the day. I don't want to trash your core and then you need it today and it blows. Out doing yard work or staring out the window. Very nice. Not pushing down hard against the stool, squeezing the glutes to lift, using them as brakes on the way down.
Well, I have to go help kids do homework in a second, so I'll need my posterior chain.
How long is that going to take?
I don't know. What do you think?
Give me an estimated time so I could stay here until you're done. Okay, done and done. So next, we've got another two. I'm going to let you rest for just a second. Just to let you know, the already recorded videos, there are many of them, are on the Facebook page, Emerge Fitness Training. They're also on YouTube. We downloaded them onto our Emerge Fitness Training YouTube channel. So if you want to go there and check it out, we've got a wide range. We've got mindfulness. We've got boot camps. We've got strength camps. We've got today hips and core. We've got a pretty good variety of things going on. Band workouts. There's going to be plenty more. So please check back to the Facebook page for the schedule on that. We're happy to have you with us. And we actually aren't going to need that band, but I'll tell you what, hold that band up.
Yep.
For next time. This is a small strength band. This one's a black one, which is the heaviest. PerformBetter.com sells these for about $350. You can do a lot with them. The next time we meet for hips and cores, you're going to need one. You can get them from other places, but I prefer the ones from performbetter.com. If you've never done it before, pick up a couple. I'd start with a green, maybe a green, a blue, and a black, just because you're going to progress pretty quickly. So grab those. We can use those for other things besides hips, too. All right. So, Angie, you know what a Turkish get-up is?
Yeah.
All right.
This is
so
a surprise to me, so.
show me what the beginning of a Turkish get-up looks like. So she's on the floor. You can see this. Now there. That's all you're doing. So the same side arm is up that the knee is bent. Basically what she's doing is driving the hand on a frozen rope, the up hand, to the ceiling, and she's keeping her upper body, her trunk, as neutral as possible. This is not a sit-up. This is not a hip-up. This is not flexing the spine. The back is staying straight. Your abs are being used as stabilizers as the hip flexors are lifting you up. I prefer a single leg up versus two legs because then only one hip flexor is pulling on the back. People with back issues doing sit-ups are going to blow you up. Single flexion means the psoas is only pulling on one side, single leg up. So even if you're doing sit-ups in your own routine, I recommend it this way. It's going to be a lot nicer, plus you're going to get all the benefits. Very nice. Angie knocking it out. 100 or 200? 100. 100. St. Charles. You're almost done. All right. I'm going to have Angie get into a side plank now. Side plank is anti-side bending. So the muscles, many muscles of the core, stop her from bending to the side. Also a little bit of an anti-rotation. And a ton of the hip. On the outside, the hip, glute medius is working. And that's the outside of your hip, your butt. So here's the advanced, there, right there. There's a regress version. This is a good place to start. These are no joke exercises. I have pro athletes that don't do this well. They're hard. So with the knees bent, and then if you want to make it a little harder and make sure you're able to stabilize it, you can go with straight legs. That's more body weight. When you do this, you want to make sure you're in line. So you're looking at the ear being in line with the shoulder. Shoulder in line with the hip. Hip in line with the knee, and knee in line with the ankle. Sherry says, hi, Angie, good stuff. And when you're done with that, Sherry Schneider. Flip. Sherry Schneider.
Are you using those dumbbells at home?
Brad Beekman.
Oh.
What's up? Get Max doing this, buddy.
Bradley.
All right, everything in line. Once again, if you need to, drop down to the knees. No shame here. This is a tough exercise. Again, I got some beast mode athletes that don't do this well. It's a lot of hip strength, a lot of downside core strength. The side that's facing the ground, you want to stay in line, you want to breathe regular. It's not about just staying up and muscling through it. It's about doing it well and being in alignment. All right, relax. What's up, Steven? All right, so again, we're working hips and core today. The kind of core we're working, every once in a while do some straight core exercise, like stabilization exercises. But a lot of times we'll do exercises like squats where we're only loading you on one side. So your core has to work to stabilize while the big muscles are moving you. So you're going to see a lot of that in these kinds of exercises. What's up, Lisa? You're going to have to come back and check out the whole thing. All right. So we're on our last round, but we're going to be doing 3 of these. We're back to the get up, sit up. So get up, sit up. You're in a Turkish get up position. It's a sit-up variation that's much nicer to the back. Again, only one hip is flexed, only one knee is up. So it's yanking on the lumbar spine, a little less than a sit-up.
How many reps do you recommend?
Man, 6 to 8 on each side, because this really is no joke. Drive that hand straight up to the ceiling. It makes a difference. The downside hand can be used as a lever, kind of help you up a little bit. That's not hurting anybody. All right. And again, her abs are stabilizers. They're not movers. They're just locking her torso in that position, really, as the hip flexors are doing the work. She's driving that arm. If you see the hand going straight up, frozen rope straight up, that makes a difference. If you need a little momentum, you can punch it forward. That'll help you out. Try not to. All right. When she transitions into the side plank, I'm going to have her specifically go side plank with the knees bent, because we're going to add a clam to this. Okay, so the feet are going to be together. And now she's getting that bottom side core work, her hips on the bottom side, and now let's go up and down in rep fashion. Knee, yep, just the knee, there you go. Now she's working her glute med on the top. It's a more dynamic movement, so there it is. So the core is having to activate even more. Only do this if you have mastered the hold. Dynamic is also always a little bit harder. So master the basic before you go on. And flip it. Very good. That's no joke. Sometimes as a trainer, I get into the throwing in novelty to my clients for the sake of novelty when they're really not ready for it. Sometimes just mastering the old reliable, being great at a squat, great at a lunge, being great at basic movement patterns. That's what's going to get you better.
It's burning.
Glute meat. Sherry said glute meat. Work that glute meat.
Meat?
Angie got glute meat.
Feels like meat right
Glute med, medius. See, like, yeah, glute med means nothing. It's a glute medius, but I like glute med. I think I'm going to adopt that from now on.
My meat is burning.
Glute. Sorry, kids. All right. Take a breather.
Is that it?
All right, y'all. We got one more of both of those.
What was the first one? Oh.
Sherry's laughing. All right. We're going to have more of these next week. The schedule's coming out. The schedule right now is on emergefitnesstraining.com. It's on our Emerge Fitness Training page, Facebook page, and Instagram, and YouTube. Angie's going right back into it. Again, if you're just joining, basically, this is called a get-up, sit-up. What up, Jacob? Having just one flexed hip will pull on the back less. So if you're a person, like many, that's suffering from back issues, this may not be for you, but this is better than a sit-up. All right? The abs are working as stabilizers. You could see she's not flexing her spine. She's just locking in, letting the hip flexors produce the movement, so it's taxing the core to stay stable. That's excellent. Driving the arm straight up is the hard version. Driving it forward with momentum is going to give you a little extra help if you need it. That bottom side hand is also helping. It's not just out there for no reason. Burn. I still have to work out. I'm jealous, truly. All right, side plank. Let's do the side plank with the clam again. So actually show me regular side plank with legs. All right, if you really got the side plank, straight legs, this is the hard way. You're a long lever here. Hip on the bottom side core muscle, even a little bit of shoulder. All right, go to the knee, bend them. This is the regress version. Little bit easier because you're taking away body weight. And now let's do the clam. You can do this on the feet too by moving up and down with the straight leg, but it is no joke. Okay, she's up for the challenge. Now stay up. Now lift the leg. Okay, there we go. That is no joke. All right, flip it. Let's go through the same progressions. Regressions. All right, so start long. This is the hard way. All right, roll that shoulder back. Everything's in alignment. All right, let's flex the knee now. Drop them, flex the knee. Good, just hold. This is the regress version. A little less body weight you're managing here. And let's do some clams. So we got a dynamic hold now, not to mention the glute meat on the top side. And let's test her out. Last one. Long, stay up, keep the hips up, just the up leg. Move. Boom.
How many?
3 more. Y'all, this is no joke. Be careful with yourselves. All right. So that is hips and core for the day. As you saw, there's other things involved in hips and core day than just blasting, isolating the abs. Abs really don't work that way. They work in unison. There's 29 muscles that stabilize the trunk while you're moving around in space. Hips, we're talking lots of muscles, flexors, extensors, glutes, low back, core, hamstring. So on these days, you're going to get all of those. Once again, check out Emerge Fitness Training Facebook page and Instagram page for the schedule. And please grab a band for next time from performbetter.com. It's a small strength band. You're going to need it for next class, and you could use it for a lot of things. We could even do band classes with this if you get one.
We do have some here. If online ordering is a little backed up, private message us. We're not here all the time with Merd being closed, but we could.
We got quite a few.
Yeah, there's people in and out. We could work something out to get a band for you.
We could work something out.
We could work something out. Lots of options. We all have lots of time on our hands right now.
Very nice. That's
Thank
the
you,
business. Businesswoman and Angie. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.